tape. Yo. What's going down, brother? Episode 160 of the Collective Podcast. I am AC from LA, and he is SG Trilogy, and together we are the Collective Podcast. And Sam, no, I'm just kidding. Together we are the Collective Podcast. What's up, brother? Let me play your little
New SG Trilogy.
Bam! Run it back.
New SG Trilogy.
I bet you thought something else was coming. One more time.
New SG Trilogy.
What's up, Sam?
Well, you know what I always expect something crazy to happen because you like to try to get those gotcha moments. So I wouldn't be surprised. If you have some crazy audio that comes on at some point, but I've come to expect that. Now, as long as you don't get anyone else involved with participating in your foolishness, I'm good.
You know what? I got a song for you because you are definitely a crybaby. So here, it's a little early for this, and I actually just discovered her, but let's play a little Journey Montana Crybaby. Uh-oh. That's not the right one. We definitely don't want to play that Crybaby because that's Megan and Da Baby, and I don't like that dude at all. Don't be mad. Here you go. This is you, Sam. Crybaby. I don't know how the song starts off. I hope she doesn't curse.
Out the gate, because it will represent you. Out the gate.
Yeah, cry baby, show me that you mean it. Woohoo!
Man, you over there really excited today.
Oh. Well, I'm sure you're gonna bring it all to my goatee and all of that, but I'll let you live when you get to that. I am AC from LA.
New AC from LA.
And I am in the building.
New AC from LA.
One more time, daughter.
New AC from LA.
Bang! We are in the building. Applaud you for once again showing up on. Look at him. He's still waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I'm just complimenting the dude. He's nervous. He's over there like, ooh, little beads.
Man, I trust you as far as I can see without these, and I can see nothing. So you're always I can see absolutely nothing without these. So I know how you are. I know how you are and who you are.
But do you know how I am? Because I feel like you're just running with a narrative like other people in the news these days. But that being said, tell them how and where.
All right. So put it up there. Come on now. Let's go. So we have a saying here at the Collective Podcast, and our saying is, times are always best when you connect with the Collective Podcast, and we truly believe so. There are quite a few ways that you can remain connected with us. You can go to our official website, which is tcpodofficial.com. tcpodofficial.com. On Facebook, we are TC Podcast Official. On YouTube, X, and IG, we are TC Pod Official. We ask that you head to our YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend to subscribe to the Collective Podcast. On IG and X, he is AC from LA. On IG, I am SG Trilogy. And on X, I'm SG3. We appreciate you for rocking with us on this Wednesday evening.
You are now rocking with the best. And on Spotify, he's... Okay. Anyway, no, he's just Sam. He's SG Trilogy in the building. Hey, that's my pops. What up, senior? Senior in the building. Let's get him in. Get that dude in there. I'm his namesake. All right.
There it is. Shout out to you, Mr. Carter.
Yep. Shout out to AC Senior in the. Can you turn that? Can you take that off? Shout out to him in the building. All right. So just as Sam told you how and where, I'm going to tell you what we're talking about today. So we're going to talk about the W. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball. We're going to talk about NFL. Go into a little college football, got a little Tech Talk Now action, the culture, and then the closeout. Once again, welcome to episode 160 of the Collective Podcast. And here we go. All right, brother. Let me just check this score real quick. Okay, I can breathe again. All right, so did you want to talk about your favorite player or anything like that before I get started?
No, how about this? Let me tee you up.
Okay.
All right. So, as mentioned, we are kicking things off with the W. We call the WNBA passionately, we reference it as the dub. And so, as we talk about the dub tonight, we have the 22-13 Las Vegas Aces entering the game against the 19-7 Indiana Fever. And my man here, I'm going to throw him the assists so he can give you the play-by-play of how it's going right now.
Yeah, so 22-13 just became 23-13. Las Vegas Aces victorious over the Indiana Fever. As he said, what'd you say? 19-17? Now 19-8.
19-7.
Not 7, 17. 19-17. Now they're 19-17. Yeah. Now they're 19-18. They fell to the Aces at home, 86-75. That's today, Wednesday. They will play again on Friday. And oh, by the way, just for this game to mean that much more on Friday, the Aces are the only team that Indiana has not beaten this season. The Aces are 3-0 against Indiana, and there you go. Indiana's 0-3 against them. Indiana's has at least one victory against every other team in the league. Also, Indiana has, I wouldn't say a stranglehold on the 6th seed, but they are right now the 6th seed, and they're 2 games up on Phoenix, who is the 7th seed. So they can't catch Seattle, who's the 5 seed. The Aces, like I said, with the victory, they are still 3 games behind Connecticut. Or I guess it's 2.5 games, so they haven't updated this. So they're 2.5 games behind Connecticut. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, he teed it up. They held on. The Aces, my squad, they held on. And here's what we have. Coming into the week, we have the newly minted Power Rankings. And let me just kind of give you a summary. The Dallas Wings and Los Angeles Sparks. So the market that Sam lives in, the market that I live in, both of those teams have been eliminated. The race for the 8th and final playoff spot between the Chicago Sky, Atlanta Dream, and Washington Mystics still remains alive and well, with Chicago holding on by a thread. Atlanta helped them with that by losing yesterday, and then Washington is trying to make a push. Now, as the Sky are concerned, Angel Reese, their rookie phenom, is out for the remainder of the season. So even if they do make the playoffs, and it is likely, they are the most likely to make the playoffs at the 8th seed or with the 8th seed, she will not be available. And if whoever winds up in that 8th spot will be playing the New York Liberty, because they have clinched the number 1 spot. They have clinched the number 1 spot overall. Actually, they have not, but they will. Sorry. They have not, but they will. So they're 3 games up. And as of right now, the New York Liberty will play number 8. As far as the power rankings go, Minnesota moved up from 3 to 2. And they've been on a tear since the Olympic break, 9-1. Better than Indiana, who had been 8-2 going into tonight when they lost again. And so over their last 10, they are now 7-3. But that's better than their season average. So, they've been on a tear. Minnesota moved up to 3, like I said. The Aces moved from 5 to 3. And I'm going to tell you, this was disrespectful because they had the Aces at 5, and that was ridiculous. But now they're up to 3, and that's going into this week. So that's before the win over Indiana today. Connecticut dropped from 2 to 4, and Connecticut is actually right now they're 4. Indiana Fever came in, they dropped from 4 to 5, and the Seattle, that's what I'm saying. They had Indiana above Las Vegas. That was extremely good. But they fixed it now. And then Seattle's the 5 seed in their 6th power ranking and then the Phoenix Mercury, Chicago Sky. So, no brainer. Asia Wilson is going to be your WNBA MVP. The only question is she going to be a unanimous pick for MVP? A lot of people are saying no. I don't see how not. I know Nafisa Collier is making a push, but Asia Wilson has been doing otherworldly things the entire season. You can't just say, okay, they're 9-1 since the break, but now Nafisa Collier to be MVP. It's also much the same for Defensive Player of the Year. I feel like they want to throw her a bone, Nafisa Collier, and maybe give her Defensive Player of the Year. But Asia Wilson is the best player in the world. She's the best player in the WNBA, and she's by far the best offensive player and the best defensive player. Like, she's the best in all of the categories right now, and has been. Like, the only thing that she's not in the top the top 2 in is assists. We're talking points, rebounds, steals, and blocks.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. So there's that. Rookie of the Year is probably going to be Caitlin Clark, especially with Angel Reese not being able to finish the season. But it was trending more towards Caitlin Clark legitimately being the Rookie of the Year as we were just because Indiana was trending up and Chicago was staying static. Chicago had been in the eighth spot for a while and not very competitive since the break. And it's like, what have you done for me lately? So when you look at Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and my girl, Aaliyah Boston, Indiana looks really good. And it's not bad that they lost to the Las Vegas Aces. You know, they're supposed to lose to the Aces. So even with these 2 losses that they're going to get this week, they've still done really well since the break, and they'll probably still be locked in at number 6. So that's what I have for – I'm sorry. Asia Wilson became the most prolific scorer in a single season in WNBA history today. All right, go ahead, Sam.
Wait, who did?
Asia Wilson.
Who?
Asia, anybody could get it, Wilson.
That's right. That's what we talking about. Asia, anybody can get it, Wilson. Let's talk about her stats from tonight's game. 27 points, 12 boards, 2 assists, 3 blocks. Anybody can get it. That's why she dons that name here. There you go. There you go. I see why. That's your girl. I see exactly why. But special shout out to KP. She chipped in with 9 points. But you know, KP, SG Trilogy has nothing but love for you.
You sure?
That was a stellar 9 points right there from KP.
I would say like this, boy. I hope Jackie Young snaps out of her Olympic slump. Like, she did great in the Olympics, and she was on fire before the Olympics, and she's been in a slump since then. I don't even know what her plus minus tonight. She was -3. Ooh, Tiffany Hayes, Sydney Colson, and Alicia Clark. I guess the bench is what did it tonight. So Asia and the bench. Because Asia was +5, every other starter was minus, and Alicia Clark, who is the first player off the bench, she scored. She had 14 points, and she was +14. Sydney Colson, who is third off the bench, only had 2 points, but she was +19, and Tiffany Hayes had 12 points, and she was +17. So when they were in the game, and then Megan Gustafson, who she only had 1 bucket, so that was probably a tray. Nope. She had 2 points. Yeah, so it looks like the bench showed up tonight for the Aces, probably defensively more than anything.
Yeah, their defense showed up because Caitlin Clark shot 6 of 22. She was -8. She ended up with 16 points, but she went 1 of 10 from 3 and had how many turnovers? She had 5 turnovers, so they had her flustered.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Speaking of turnovers, do you remember who the first starting point guard of the Sparks? Like in 1997 when the league launched?
Hey,
Cry, baby. Oh, sorry. Penny Toller, who also became the GM, and she was a long time GM. So I used to call her, with my hand over my mouth and my face to the side, Penny Turnover, because you know her name was.
You were terrible back then, the same way you are now. I got you.
Penny Turnover.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Penny, yeah, Penny Turnover. Well, I mean, she turned the ball over a lot.
Yeah.
She turned the ball over a lot. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That's what we have for the woo. The woo.
The dub.
The dub. The dub. All right. And now we move to the payoff. We go to NFL now?
Oh man, we going to the majors.
Okay. I'm not looking at the run sheet. I'm just talking. I'm on the control. So sometimes I need your help.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to the
I'll do it. There it is. Oh, okay. I only need one. Thank you. All right. So Major League Baseball. Hello, my baseball friend. How are you?
You had a look right now, so it's working.
What are you talking about, dude? Sometimes I wonder why I keep inviting you back. So we got 3 weeks remaining in the regular season, and power rankings are tightening up. Everybody's pushing for the playoffs. The Dodgers remain at number 1. Phillies and Yankees swap spots once again in the top 3. So Phillies are second, Yankees are third. The Orioles they're struggling. They've dropped to 4th, but again, they're still 4th in the power rankings. And the Astros with Jason Hayward, the Dodger castoff, I'm glad they're in the AL, continue to climb. And now they're comfortably at 5. The Brewers, they're 6th. And even though they've slipped a bit, and then you got the Padres, Guardians, Diamondbacks in the top 10. And so if you think about that, in the top 10, you have 3 from the NL West. 3 from the NL West. I'm just throwing it out there because the NL West, I mean, we expect the Dodgers to win it, and we expect the Dodgers to have the best record in baseball, but the Padres and Diamondbacks are not making it easy. Okay? So the Mets, I know you guys forgot they even had a baseball team, but they're now 11th in the power rankings, and they're in the wild card chase. And the Royals stood fast at 10. Tigers and Giants. I mean, I don't know why we're still talking about the Giants, but I guess, if I voted, it is what it is. So here's what the Dodgers are looking to achieve, and I'm going to tell you the last 2 days did not make it easy. So with 19 games to go, the Dodgers needed to go 12-7 to finish with a 60% winning percentage. And if they were to do that, then that would be their 6th straight year doing that. And they would be the first team in Major League Baseball to achieve that 6 consecutive years since the 47-57 Yankees, who did it 11 straight years, from 47 to 57. And if somebody doesn't understand how that's 11 years, just count it out, and then you'll see that even though they both end in 7, you got to count 47 also. So there are 10 more, so that's why it's 11 years. Phillies, they continue to shine. Kyle Schwarber, I keep talking about him. He's an early contender for September Player of the Month. Their pitching staff remains one of the best in baseball, and that's why a lot of prognosticators are picking the Phillies over the Dodgers because of their solid pitching. But again, I mean, you need some solid bullpen play, and you need 3 starters in baseball, and so we'll see. Yamamoto was back last night. We didn't get the W, but he was strong, and he was on a pitch count, so he was only able to pitch 4 innings. He was on an inning count. He pitched 4 innings. Like I said, the Yankees dropped from 2 to 3. I heard somebody say, remember when Aaron Judge used to hit home runs? That's hilarious that they said that about him this week. The dude is all world, but he is not hitting home runs right now. And so they said that, and I thought it was hilarious because almost as soon as Samuel started keeping track of that dude's home runs, he got magnetized. Orioles 4, Astros 5, Brewers. I already went through it. I don't need to go. So big movers, not a lot of big movers. I already talked about the Mets. The Tigers dropped 1. The Reds moved up 1. Pirates dropped 1. Hey, baseball season is pretty darn amazing. Cody Bellinger, the anti-Dodger, came back with the Cubs, and again, the Cubs have won the first 2 games of that 3-game series, with Game 3 tonight in Dodger Stadium. After that, the Dodgers will go on the road to Atlanta starting on Friday. What you guys saying?
All right. So past couple of weeks, we've been talking a lot about home runs, and we had the theme of, and then there were 5, meaning 5 players in the majors that had 35 or more homers. Well, that list has grown. The list has grown to 7. And so, as mentioned, I think I did kind of put a little jinx on Aaron Judge. Although this is far from being a bad season for him, he has 51 home runs. So Aaron Judge leads the majors with 51, followed by the phenom, Shohei Ohtani, the freak of nature, Shohei Ohtani, with 46 home runs, and he's stealing bases like it's no one's business. Anthony Santander of the O's with 40 right after Shohei, followed by Juan Soto with 38 from the Yanks, followed by Marcell Ozuna with 37 for the Braves. And then the O's are back in the mix with Gunnar Henderson, who has 36. So he's entered that 35 or more homer class. And Brent Rooker of the Oakland Athletics. It's going to be crazy when we're calling them the Vegas Athletics, isn't it? Yeah, that's going to be weird. It's going to be pretty weird. Yeah, but he closes it out with 35 homers. Yeah.
You mean like saying the Vegas Raiders?
It's weird, dog. It's always going to be weird. Yeah, always. Just doesn't sound right. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So as mentioned, we have 7 in the majors that have 35 or more home runs. And it's an exciting time. As my man AC said, if you are a baseball fan, this is the time you want to start watching baseball, because it gets really exciting right about now.
All right.
There you go.
Is it now time for the you know what?
Oh, it's time. Where is it?
You about to go?
Yeah, what do you call this one? You just call it the. Is it time for? Well, it's time for the ambulance. I had to. Or you call it?
If I'm in the groove, a celebrity do not mean integrity, you fool. I'm a good man. Shake your hand, firm grip.
There we go.
All right, so this is the time when I'll go look for it. This is the time when football fans really, really, really need to decide if they're rolling with their teams or they're going against their teams. And if you are rolling with your team, just you know.
They're chanting, trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. So I guess I don't know, Sam. I guess maybe it went away, so I got it. I'm doing it.
You call it the league in here, or is it a different?
I thought so, but it's there. I have to do it again.
Okay.
All right. So here's the deal. We had week 1 of the NFL, and before we dig deep, Sam, week 1 of the NFL happened. What's your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway of week 1 is it's going to be a long season. That's my biggest take. Depending on
your face, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, depending on who you are a fan of. For some of us, there's feast, and for some of us, it's famine. And I'm on the side of famine right now. So it's going to be a long season, brother. But look, in other news, you're over there smiling. I don't even think you have lights on right now. It's just your skin is just illuminating, just with so much joy.
Well, since you guys threw Jimmy Garoppolo in the rubbish bin, I was happy that he landed somewhere. So that's why I'm smiling. He's on the Rams.
Yeah,
he's on the Rams. So are you excited about anything with the Raiders?
What I will say is I am excited that Devontae is still a member of the Raiders. And I'm going to be excited when our starting quarterback who started the season when he has a seat. That's when I'm
so you want your starting quarterback to be your finishing quarterback or your finished quarterback.
I want him to go get some reps on the sidelines.
So here's the thing. Some of us know who you're talking about when you say whatever you just said. You said
that I want our starter to go get some reps on the sidelines to make some room for our second-year quarterback, Aiden O'Connell.
No, when you said Devontae. So, I mean, Devontae swing? Or... Who you talking about?
Devontae Adams. That's what, when he comes out, Devontae swing. Just have it come out. Yeah, Devontae. No, I'm excited that he's still here, but yeah, man. The QB wise, man, it's frustrating, that his starting name so happens to be his first name is my last name, Gardner. So I'm not going to hate too much, but yeah, I don't think he needs to be the starter. So long season, man. Let's get to these other games, man. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So in week 1 action, we tipped things off last Thursday with the Baltimore Ravens at the Kansas City Chiefs. And that was a pretty good game. I told you that I wanted the game to be close. Dietrich Ellis comes in with Halloween is always exciting for the Raiders. Yeah, it's something, bro. Yeah. Yeah. You see, I didn't even bring my gnome out. My gnome can't even be featured as of yet. But so exciting out of the gate. I told you that I wanted some close games. I know you like, whatever, get out of here with that. But the Ravens were close, but no cigar. 27-20. The Chiefs won that game. From there, the Raiders struggled and lost 22-10 against the Chargers, which was terrible. There were some questionable calls. I'm gonna get to you guys. Don't worry. I'm gonna save that.
Questionable calls from the coaches.
Questionable calls by Coach Pierce in terms of he leaned on the defense heavily. The defense was gassed when they were fourth and 1. So there were some questionable calls. Instead of trying to run up the gut, they decided to punt the ball and lean on the defense, and the defense didn't have enough. They were tired. Jacksonville at Miami. Miami was victorious, 20-17. One thing that I do want to say, and yes, we're talking X's and O's, but I'm sure most people, if not, most sports fans have seen the video of Tyreek and his interaction with the police department ahead of the game in Miami. Did you see that video?
I saw all of the videos. I saw the body-worn camera footage and the TikTok footage and the Instagram footage. Yeah, I saw the footage. Or as Cardi B would say, I saman.
Yes. Or as my dad would say, you got some Texas. Yeah, you saw the Texas. Man, that video, dude, and I get it. I get it. Yes, as a motorist, you respect police, and I understand. And by no means will I pretend that I understand what it is like to be an officer. But that thing just seemed like it escalated and went in the wrong direction expeditiously, and it was
several times.
Yes, it was there was so much energy. I'm like, respect gets respect, and I think that's something that should be reciprocated. But when you have someone that's really just and I'm like, man, why did it have to go that fast, that far, that fast? It was terrible. Yeah.
So for clarity, I just want to help you guys out. So some of us you have city police, some people have state troopers, and then you have sometimes county police, if not the sheriff's department covering a given county, right? So in California, anytime it's a county situation, it's the sheriff. It's the sheriff for us. But just to be clear, that was Miami-Dade County PD. The chief of police of the city of Miami Police Department said this was hard to watch. And he wasn't talking about Tyreek Hill. Okay? It's not the same agency, but he pointed out that in spite of the Policemen's Benevolence Association that one of those officers is actually on the board of, and the union coming out in support of them, this man is face down on the ground. At one point, he's in a chokehold. At another point, he was snatched out of his car. They said, "I'm going to break your effing window." Like, it was a lot. He's doing this a lot. And, you know, I understand they said get down, but he's trying to say, hey, I just had knee surgery. Can't, you know, nope, chokehold. The guy got so excited to put him in a chokehold. You can see it. He jumped and put him in a chokehold. I didn't know you were going to want to talk about this, but yeah. So, okay, but finish your thoughts. So, in case you haven't seen it, go look.
You know, yeah, if you haven't seen it, you can find it on social media. It's all over the place. And the reason that I wanted to touch upon this, you know, I've had experiences that were less than favorable with law enforcement that went to the next level, where I had to get out of a car and get on your knees with your hands, your fingers interlocked, your hands on your head. They're going through your car. And it's one of those feelings, man, that it can be traumatic. And so I think a lot of times we cannot talk about things like this enough, because the trauma associated with it, because we're supposed to just get up and go our way after it happens, if we're lucky enough to be able to go our own way. And I just wanted to say, man, you know, when incidents like this happen, I think we need to have these conversations, and we need to really be intentional about having these conversations, because as we talk about growth, as we talk about leveling the playing field, as we talk about life, as we talk about safety, as a Black man, I can't turn my back on incidents like this that happen, because I've been the victim in an incident like this before. So that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Okay, and so to that end, even before I'd become a victim of incidents like this, I was advocating for our people not to be murdered. Like I like celebrated when I made it to 21, because it's like endangered species, especially living in LA. But I'll say it, I did have LAPD, Olympic and Crenshaw. What did I do wrong? I was driving my Beetle, my Volkswagen Beetle. My taillights were out. I was getting the car worked on. My taillights were out, and I had a mover's permit or a moving permit, not full registration. So you were either supposed to be going to the shop or to work, or to and from work. Well, I happened to be coming home from work, but it was at night. It was unsafe because of the taillights, right? And I didn't even know they were out, but they were out. So, okay, I'm in the wrong. So I should get a ticket, right? Somehow, some way, I was told to drop my keys out of the car. I never had that happen before. Drop your keys out of the car, step out of the car, keep your left hand on the door, and do all of this. And then the next thing I know, close to the curb, I'm face down with a knee in my back. And then he actually cocked his weapon and put it to my head and said, "What if I just ended your life right now?" Yeah. I'm just trying to get home, sir. Like, I'm not about to be combative with you. I already know about this, and I thought it was my time. Luckily, it wasn't, but I'm not the only one with this story. You're not the only one with this story. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And it doesn't matter if we all know that there are good people, right? That wear uniforms, that there are good cops. I'm not out there saying F all the cops by any means, but the bad ones need to be called out and they need to be removed. It's absolutely ridiculous. And imagine if that happened in that same area at night when there's no one around. You just never know. He even said, the one cop even said to Tyreek, "You must have this confused," as he's on top of him. "You must have this confused." Anyway, all right.
Wow.
I digress.
Man. Yes, it's a lot to unpack there, as I said, though, but it's one of those conversations we can't talk about it enough. And I appreciate you for having this dialogue with me, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's heavy, man.
I think, all right, hold on. We need a firm grip one more time.
Universal shift, I'm in the groove. A celebrity do not mean integrity, you fool. I'm a good man. Shake your hand, firm grip rule.
All right.
All right, I appreciate that. From there, let's see. We had the Rams at Lions, and the Lions prevailed 26-20. We had another close game, Green Bay at Philadelphia. Philadelphia prevailed 34-29. And without further ado, in Monday Night Football, we had the Jets of New York against the Niners of San Fran. How'd that one work out for you?
Huh? What'd you say? What were you talking about? Dietrich still here. Dietrich, tell him how that one. Oh, I gotta wait for it to stop. Dietrich, tell him how that worked out for us. Tell him how that worked out for us on Monday Night Football, Dietrich. Come on, Dietrich. Get your fingers to typing so you can tell the people how that worked out for us. Y'all talking about the Raiders. It worked out really well. I would say that there was definitely some rust there for the 49ers as they did not score on their first drive. But they did score on their next 8. I'd say that the Jets had one really good drive where, here's the thing, they had 3 third down conversions to 5. Mm-hmm. And he looked like a world beater on those third downs. And Aaron Rodgers looked like a world beater on those third downs. But I was doing the math in my head, and I was like, they had to have these miraculous plays on third down to get through this drive. Now, they did put it in the end zone. But, again, it was 3 third down conversions that were really important. And I was like, I'm not scared of this. I'm really not scared of this. This is this defensive coordinator's first time with this bunch. And, oh, by the way, shout out to Leonard Floyd, defensive end opposite Nick Bosa. Welcome to the fold, big homie. Welcome to the fold. That's some nice bookendage right there. Some nice bookendage. Okay. Dietrich said light work. Tell him what he said, Sam. Tell him what he said.
So Dietrich Ellis chimes in on these Niners saying, worked out well. Run defense looks improved from last year and the O-line as well.
So, Leonard Floyd is part of that run defense, as is Nick Bosa. But wait, Christian McCaffrey, 2023 offensive MVP, offensive player of the year in the National Football League, was unavailable. Group decision. I wasn't part of that decision. Neither was Dietrich, but there was a group decision. And they said, okay, CMC is not going to play. So who stepped in for CMC? While you look it up, I'll just tell you. His name's Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason with 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown. Come on.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, not to belabor the point, but 49ers did all right. I would say C+ for the first game. Nice start. Nice start. I'm kidding. Definitely not C+. A-. Dietrich said, "Are you dropping dimes?" There was one beautiful pass. Like, I remember when my former business partner, who is the Antichrist, who tanked my business and tried to ruin my life, when we used to be friends, he used to love, as an official, covering those fade routes to the back corner of the end zone. And it would usually be a lob. But this was a burner that Ayuk basically had to dive for, but it was right on his mitts. And to Dietrich's point, he did drop it. And he dropped a couple other ones. Juwan Jennings, who was the first one of the bunch to get a contract this offseason, looked like a world beater. And yeah, I think that Brandon Ayuk needed some more time. A lot of people got nervous when Trent Williams, the left tackle, went to the locker room after playing 58 consecutive plays or something like that. But he was going in for an IV. That dude was dehydrated.
Yes.
He was someone who wasn't in camp. But he didn't get beaten. He was rolling.
You figure Ayuk, you're going to have to give him a pass for the first game because he was counting those newly acquired coins and his arms were tied.
Give him a pass? You got to say pun intended, dude. Like, what? Did I just tell you that today? Like, you got to say pun intended? Come on, man. Aren't you?
I'm just saying, man. He just had those newly acquired coins. His arms was tired. You holding the money bags, dog. Yeah, arms was tired. Give him. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
All right.
So can we talk? We're gonna move on from that game, and we're gonna hit the rewind button. So we talked about the Eagles defeating Green Bay 34-29, and right now, just a little bit north of Philadelphia, up the New Jersey Turnpike, the Giants have to be looking at themselves, saying, "What in the heck did we allow to happen?" Go ahead.
I'm on the record as saying they didn't miss on that one. Saquon Barkley is probably damaged goods. I was wrong. So now I'm on the record saying I was wrong. That dude looked phenomenal. I mean, for the setting that he was in. I mean, it's not hard to look good on the Eagles, but okay. He looked really good.
Setting he was in, 24 carries for $109 on the ground with 2 touchdowns. If I'm the Giants, I'm saying, does Saquon have some more in the tank? A lot more in the tank? We shall see. I know it was the first game of the season, but Saquon looked great.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. Like his personality didn't fit with their system, and so they don't have a good coach, they don't have a good quarterback, and they got rid of Saquon Barkley. They're looking for the number 1 pick. Kind of like Houston was doing when they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. Remember, we talked about this back then when they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins, and the next thing you know, it was. I digress. Go ahead.
But to me, it's bigger than getting rid of him. You let him go across the street. Why would you allow him to go across the street? That's the part for me.
Well, it's not okay. So who cares? They're not going to be competitive, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who he went to. The Giants aren't going to be competitive.
It's the principle. It's principalities involved. Principalities, man.
Dable is still their head coach. They don't understand principle.
Yeah, good point.
Why is this dude still their coach? Yeah. Oh, because he's not making the stupid front office moves.
Yeah.
Why is the GM still there?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in the Mara family. Come on.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And I mean, I give less than you know what about the NFC East, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's the Jekyll and Hyde. When you talk NFC East, it's Jekyll and Hyde. Because there's no clear leader in the NFC East. At least not in my eyes. At all.
So I'm gonna go on record right now.
Okay.
Philly.
Clear leader over the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
So I'm not saying that's gonna show it's not gonna say I'm not saying that's gonna show its head next week.
Right.
But I'd say, 2-game lead by week 8, and then probably finish 3 games up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if I had to give the nod, I'd give the Eagles the nod over the Cowboys.
But you don't. That's the thing. You don't have to give the nod. You could just say, like you said, I don't think there's really a clear leader in that division.
It's interesting.
I mean, because the interesting part about it is if you say that in the division with Cincinnati and Cleveland, it's kind of like respectful, right? That you don't know who the clear winner is between the two of them, right? But then I would say that, Philly and the Cowboys should be as good as those two teams. So it doesn't have to be a knock. I do think Philly's better. And I guess I've seen enough of all of them lately that I feel like, Dietrich and I can, kind of weigh in on this. Shout out to Frank Gore for going into the 49ers Hall of Fame. Wait a minute. Yeah, we are. That's cool. But you got, I don't see my apology. Sam, hold on. I'm still talking. Frank Gore went into the 49ers Ring of Honor / Hall of Fame. Shout out to Frank Gore from the U. Kobe from the U. And that's not FAMU. That's the U.
Hold on.
I'm not doing a timeout. This dude came on my show and said that Florida A&M University was going to smash Miami. They didn't even show up to the game.
Man, you cannot have this much energy. You can't have this much energy to the U against FAMU because it's not the same.
FAMU was against Jacoby Simmons.
No.
I'm good with FAMU. They didn't say they were going to beat Miami.
Your energy is too high for this. This is not the same. It's a grown man beating a kid. What are you doing?
The prep this dude.
What are you doing?
You should have prepped this dude. I should have had an apology as soon as he came on.
He doesn't know you an apology because
he just
no.
Penn State is not in the FCS, dude. What do you? Okay, you're banned. Let me ban him. You're banned, Cole. I talked about banning you last week. Now you're banned.
Cole, he will take his ball and go home. So you got to be careful.
No, I will not. No. I stay on the playground. I just send people home. You stop. I've invited you to the show, but you got to have better takes than FAMU over the U.
Man,
that's just a bad pick.
You cannot flex that much energy against fam.
It's not. Can you stop running with this narrative before I start calling you a number instead of a name? Stop.
As long as you call me Trilogy, we're great. That's the number. Trilogy.
That's my number. It could be a derivative of 3. Listen, I understand where they reside. That's why it was so disrespectful for you to make that pick. What do you think? Hold on. What do you think Miami is? Notre Dame? What do you think FAMU is? Northern Illinois? Stop. You go talk to Northern Illinois and Notre Dame.
That's right.
Well, my
nephew said, "Hey."
My is Uncle Spaghetti Sam. So how about that? She don't use it.
She didn't say that on her own. That was you.
And now she calls you spaghetti and meatballs.
You're brainwashing my niece. That's you.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
This guy.
Dietrich said that, yeah, they're also still paying. Listen, okay. So what you're saying is you don't have credible takes. You just take HBCU schools over everyone else every time they play. That's what you're saying. Okay. If that's what you're saying, then I won't hold it against you that you came on this show and said FAMU over Miami. But whoever else FAMU is playing, just make sure you make all these picks. Make sure that you say Alcorn State over Alabama and all of that. Just make sure that all of that happens. And oh, by the way, I could go get my MEAC t-shirt or my MEAC dry fit. You want to wear the black one or the purple one? Want me to wear the gray t-shirt or the purple one? Like, I got HBCU love too. I was in the MEAC. However, that's disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful. It's him rooting for our people. So take that.
He didn't say, hey, I would really like to see Florida A&M. He said, all right. Finish the NFL. Back to Detroit.
Oh, that's funny.
Finish the NFL.
All right, man, he got me derailed. Does
he have an NFL team?
Cope, yeah, Cope. Who are you, Eagles fan, Cope? I would imagine, because geographic. All right, fast forward. Let's go to this week's matchups. We have the Niners at Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Raiders at Baltimore. Buffalo at Miami. That's tomorrow, so Thursday night. Buffalo at Miami. We have New Orleans at Dallas. Chicago at Houston. And Monday night, we have Arizona at Philly. So
it all makes sense now.
There we go.
It all makes sense now.
Oh, yeah. There we go. I forgot.
So for our listeners, he's a Cowboys fan.
Who reside not even remotely close to where the Cowboys play.
Oh, but here's the thing. Jay-Z taught me. People can't tell who is who. So I'm done going back and forth with Jacoby Simmons because people can't tell who is who. So now I get it. My bad, Sam. That was too much energy for a Cowboys fan talking about college football. The delusional bunch that they are. All right, cool. So Kobe is making his picks. Buffalo over Miami. And I don't want the Miami Dolphins to win another game. I'm so disappointed in Tua Tagovailoa and his speaking out against Brian Flores. I don't want Miami to win another game. I don't like Buffalo, but I don't want the Dolphins to win another game. Chicago over Houston. My question to you, Cole, is what planet are you? I can't keep giving you this energy. please justify Chicago over Houston. Chicago accidentally won that game with ineptitude by the team that they were playing. They weren't even good on defense. They lucked into stupidity by the other team. You got nothing from Caleb Williams. They were missing Justin Fields. And now you're going to pick them over Houston? Do you know? Now, Houston really plays defense. They did give up a couple, in fairness. Houston did give up a couple. But in fairness, they gave up a couple. But that's a real defense and a real offense. And you got Chicago over them? You better call the dream merchant. What else you got?
Kolb is optimistic, man. He's just
God protect fools and babies. Listen, yeah. Kolb, and I already said. Can't tell. Yeah. Jay-Z told me to stop talking to you. Jay-Z told me to stop talking to you in public. So I'm gonna stop right now.
And you said that the Bears are missing Justin Fields, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Did you watch the game or the highlights?
I sure did, and that's my point. Who's the person who told you that Justin Fields would be the starter in Pittsburgh? And you told me that I was being disrespectful to Russell Wilson. Did you not? How?
Okay. He's not the starter. There was an injury, just like Jordan Mason is not the starter in San Francisco. It's literally the same injury. It's a calf injury. He's not the starter.
Justin Fields will be the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Eventually?
I'd say by week 3, he will be the starter.
Okay.
Week 3 or 4, he will be the starter for the rest of the season.
Okay, so week 3. So again, week 3 is disrespectful, especially since Russell has not played yet because of his calf injury. So I maintain what I said. You're saying the same thing.
I'm maintaining what I'm saying. Justin Fields will be the starter for the foreseeable future for that team.
Once he becomes the starter, like the healthy once he becomes the starter in a healthy once he becomes the starter in a healthy quarterback room, yes, they're not going to look back. I agree with that. I don't think it's going to happen as quickly as you think it is. And I just want to be clear that he started because of the injury.
Right. There, yeah, fair enough. That's correct.
And also didn't look great, but he looked really good for a Pittsburgh offense. That's really what they need. But they missed Russell Wilson. Just like Chicago missed Justin Fields. Pittsburgh missed Russell Wilson. Let's not be silly here.
What's Jacoby? Wait, hold on. Let's see. I agree with Sam. Then what does he say?
Well,
Justin Fields will not be the starter once Russell gets healthy. Okay.
Let me see your marionette tool. Here, make
I'm the puppet master. What you're saying? I'm the puppet master. You are wrong.
Okay, you do it. I'm trying to put it up.
Go. Here we go. Russ he's done now.
Russ is injured. Russ is injured. By the way, call penalties, not games. Yeah, okay. I actually don't call games, but guess what? Miami over Florida A&M University was really, really easy. Okay, got you, Mr. Simmons. I understand. Is it like, does he have a moniker? Is it Mr.? Is it Doctor? Is it?
He's Mr.
He's Mr. just well, he's clearly not doling out any justice. So, he's probably Officer Simmons. Let me stop. All right, thanks, Kolb. Kolb and Dietrich, you guys made the NFL a lot of fun.
Yes.
Well, I do watch a lot of British TV shows. Let's get Dietrich's comment out before we go to Jacoby.
All right, so Dietrich chimes in saying Justin Fields was scared to attack the middle of the field. Justin Fields.
What are you doing?
What I'm doing is I'm sticking with what I said. Russell comes back healthy. Justin Fields will be the starter for that team. That's what I'm saying.
So listen, I'm gonna take it a step further. He put Caleb Williams. He put Chicago over Houston. Caleb Williams might not be starting the second half in that game. That's how bad Chicago and Houston is. I really do want Caleb Williams to do well because, again, it's not like, every time there is a black quarterback, I'm a fan off top because of how long our black quarterbacks were held back. And I'm not saying that Caleb Williams is Vince Evans. Like, Caleb Williams is definitely, I mean, really all the black quarterbacks now have progressed from that time because now you can actually develop as a quarterback for the most part. So that's great. I did not cheer for Caleb Williams at the University of Southern California. I am not going to cheer for him now, but I do want him to do well. I still don't understand what happened with Justin Fields, and I do not believe that Caleb Williams is an upgrade over Justin Fields. So
yeah, I don't either. I think they gave, as we talked about it last week, I think that the Bears gave up on him.
Yeah, and so imagine what you could have done with that number 1 pick.
Right.
You could have traded down and, you could have gotten picks.
Yep.
Everybody with a helmet on. From Anthony Richards or Anthony Richardson? Everybody with a helmet on that's going into the game can do something. Yeah, I think Malik. Yeah, I do. What do you think, Sam?
I try to be the positive one, but I'm not sold yet. Yeah. No.
Oh, but see, it's okay. But not being sold yet is okay. This is all new. I mean, all right, here's my real question for the three of you. Are you guys ready to give up on Bryce Young? Sam's face says yes. His voice will say something different. Let's see what DJ goes. I needed to tell the listeners.
Yeah.
It's late. I'm not doing TechTalk tonight.
Okay.
It's 6 minutes long. So
you know what? I'm not gonna give up on Bryce yet. I'm gonna give Bryce a shot. I'm not giving up on him yet. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
All right.
What else? By the way, Cole, just like whenever you want to come on the show, just like come on the show for real. Dietrich too. Okay, so Dietrich gave up on Bryce Young. Waiting on Cole.
Yes.
By the way, Cole said I should call him Master Simmons. So Master Simmons, are you going to weigh in on Bryce Young? Okay. That's funny. Cole. Chicago, Houston. That's like Florida A&M over Miami. Do you understand that those teams are in different realms? You can't be Kobe. I know, Kobe. I know you're a better football mind than this to be fooled by Chicago being 1-0. You have to be. You have to be. You have to be. Okay. That's an easier pick for me than San Francisco at Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you look at the fashion in which the Bears won the game, as you said, it was like they were tricked into winning the game. It wasn't like they did something that was so amazing.
Those teams played hot potato in that game.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, just think about the silliness that gave Chicago that victory. Now, I'm not knocking Chicago. I'm just saying they're not good yet. They may become good. But Chicago's been a mess. Justin Fields had no weapons, had no tools. Like the coaching turnover, the coordinator turnover, defense not great, O-line not great. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Get it, LL. You don't trust Houston. Okay, well, remember, division and playoff win. In year one, DeMeco Ryans.
Yeah. And their defense is better than the Bears. A lot better than the Bears.
Well, yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. When we talk about the defensive coordinators that came from the best team over the last 5 years without a Super Bowl, you have Robert Saleh and DeMeco Ryans. And Robert Saleh, who was 2 years before DeMeco Ryans, unfortunately, it's like he's on the clock now because, especially with the way that we expose that defense, and I want him to do well. Like he's from the crib, and I mean from the coaching tree. I don't mean that he's literally from the crib because he's from New York, but he's from the crib. So I want Saleh to do well. I want DeMeco Ryans to do well. I saw Raheem Morris enough on the sidelines of the Rams games when I was working those games that I want Raheem Morris to do well. Yeah, so that's what I got. Okay.
All right, so Dietrich chimes in with Chicago's defense is pretty nice now. Caleb still has to learn to stay on schedule.
That's fair, and I still want to say let's not be fooled by what Chicago's defense was able to do because of the silliness. Because you know how you have in tennis, you have unforced errors. I feel like we were seeing unforced errors as opposed to forced errors. Now, I'm not saying Chicago's defense is terrible because they're not now. They are decidedly better. I just don't think that they are good enough for us to believe in them in week 2 with this unproven commodity at quarterback who replaced a guy that they gave up on. That's all I got. I don't want to, we've been on Chicago way too long. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Listeners, viewers. By the way, shout out to all our first-time viewers, last-time viewers, everybody in between, and Master Simmons. Shout out to our first-time listeners, last-time listeners, and everybody in between. Go ahead, Sam.
All right. So you said we need to pay a bill now, or you want to keep it moving?
Yeah, let's keep it moving. I don't have a lot of that with the culture either. So,
all right, cool. So what we'll do, we're going to put a pin in Tech Talk Now for this week. As you know, that is my favorite segment because AC always brings heat from the world of tech. But we'll put a pin on that for this week in the spirit of time. So let's hit the culture.
All right, let it go. I don't know where my sheet is.
All right.
Can you
cue up?
Yeah. I got you. Oh, you got some heat?
Yeah, I got a couple of things for the culture. Are you going to do any of this that you had or no?
No, I could wait.
Okay, cool.
I
just got two.
Okay.
Well,
Notice I said we. It's not just me. I'm what the culture feeling. Notice I said we. It's not just me. I'm what the culture feeling.
All right, brother.
There we go. So typically when it comes to the culture and when I'm talking music, I know that I lean heavily on hip hop. And then I also lean heavily on R&B. But this week, I'm going to do a little shit.
Wow. Time out. Your boy talking reckless again. What is? Were you inspired by the left side of the debate last night? Like, what is happening here?
For those of you who are not watching, now we're having a tech show off between tech expert and enthusiast AC from LA in the red corner, and in the blue corner we have tech enthusiast, tech expert Jacoby Simmons. Full disclosure, Kobe has like a full smart house and Mr. Technology. You two would actually do very well in this space talking tech.
Courses.
Yeah,
let's do a Tech Talk Now segment where you don't talk recklessly, where we just drop knowledge on the people. See, it doesn't have to be smoke.
Yeah. Kobe will have your entire house as a smart tech house with all this stuff. He has an array of knowledge, a vast knowledge of that subject matter. So the two of you come together, you'll be able to build something amazing.
Yeah, I love that idea. And also, why don't you send him my episode about smart homes?
There you go.
Yeah.
Or how about I might remove myself from the equation so you guys can interact with the tech space.
I feel like you did this. You dropped a steak on my porch and then let Cole out the car. Nina Grubbs in the building. Nina Grubbs from who hails from Arizona but went to Long Beach State and is now back in Arizona. That is my buddy Nina Rock in the building. What is up, Nina? Thanks for coming.
It is great to see you, Nina. All right, so now back to our regularly scheduled programming, the culture. So as mentioned, I always lean heavily on hip hop, giving you some hip hop gems to check out and some R&B gems. This week we're heading to the world of jazz. Mike Burton has a new project out. He's a saxophonist, jazz musician, and he has a new project out, and it's called Downtime. If you are a fan of jazz, this project is absolutely amazing. It's 9 songs of amazing saxophone excellence. So it would behoove you to check out Mike Burton, Downtime. Definitely dope. This next project, we're moving from music to television now. So when you start talking about a cast that consists of Kevin Hart, Taraji P. Henson, Terrence Howard, Don Cheadle, and last, definitely not least, Samuel L. Jackson. Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist, is an absolutely amazing show. It's on Peacock. Will Packer, movie maker extraordinaire, super producer, Will Packer is leading that project, and that show is absolutely dope. You started watching it, right, AC?
No, it's in my up next. I haven't pressed play yet.
Yeah, so I won't go into it any further than the title. The title kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking. Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist. The show is dope. It takes place in the 70s. And, you know, we're 70s, baby, so we can appreciate the allure of the 70s. Great show, and I'd say check it out on Peacock. That's all I have for this week's culture, brother.
All right. I'm just going to throw this one at you. Because I Love You by Halle Bailey, who was the Little Mermaid, sister of Chloe, half of Chloe and Halle. Halle's song Because I Love You is pretty darn amazing. I have some more music, but I'll save it until next week. I got some TV shows too, but we just really got, I guess because I wore the NFL hoodie, we just really went ham on the NFL. I don't know, but yeah, I'll get to it later. But check it out, Because I Love You by Halle. It's super dope. And
Nina, you're not too far removed. I know you're an 80s baby, but you're not too far removed. The show is dope. Trust me. Check it out, and let's chime in once you at least check out the first episode. Let's talk more about it. All right, brother. Where we at?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Time to go. Get to the close.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Tell them.
All right. Jacoby Simmons, Howard versus Morehouse, HBCU, NYC Classic in the Meadowlands this weekend. Are you shooting it, Kobe? If you are.
Wait, that's not even fair. I guess that's just about tradition. Howard is going to smash Morehouse.
Yeah, they've been doing it a couple of years, at least a minimum of a couple of years, and it always looks live.
But Division I versus Division II?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so. I wish I could be there. I would love to be there for that. Just oh my god. I mean, it's not going to be a good game, but like the atmosphere will be amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everything around it is great and great exposure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Shout out. All right, brother. Well, again, thank you guys for coming through. We absolutely appreciate you. We're going to mosey on down to the closeout right quick.
This is the closeout.
You say what, Kayla?
This is the closeout.
It is?
This is the closeout.
All right. Well, we're going to let Samuel talk. Absolutely. The bands will be amazing, Nina. We're going to let Sam talk first. The legend. Did you see Kobe say he gonna tell Sean on me? Oh, I didn't say her name. Make sure you let her know that wasn't me, because I respect my dictatorial younger.
Just be quiet. Why you just be quiet? Just be quiet, man. You don't have to say all the behind the scenes.
New SG Trilogy.
Start talking.
All right. Yeah, throw the banner up there, y'all. Come on now. I gotta get the vibe.
It's up there. It's just Nina's comment is on top of it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right, there we go. All right. So as we close out this week, the thing that resonates with me this week is, as you see, we come on this show weekly and we're passionate and we have a good time. It's because we both put so much into it. And so I just want to encourage you, if you have something that you're passionate about, give it your all, because if you do, it's going to be so fulfilling for you. And I know on a weekly basis, this is one of the highlights of my week. AC and I talk every day about what we can do to really make the show better, how we can have more interaction with our viewers and listeners. And that's what it's all about. We've matched our passion, and we both go into this thing. And so, as I say, I just want to encourage you to, if there's something that you're passionate about, put your all into it, regardless of how much support you get from anyone. It starts with you supporting yourself. So that's what I have for this week's closing.
Wow. Well, thank you for that, brother. We definitely appreciate you stepping into the closeout. Once again, I want to thank Dietrich Ellis, Nina Grubbs, and Jacoby Simmons for coming through to this episode of the Collective Podcast. I also know that you could be anywhere in the world and you chose to be here. And there are many of you who do not speak up when you come and watch our show, but we do appreciate you for coming through just the same. But we would encourage you to like our podcast, subscribe to our podcast, comment on our podcast, and share our podcast. And if you can't do all four, please do 2 of the 4, because 50% is better than 0%. So thank you. And now I will close out.
Who is this guy?
AC from LA.
Oh, it's funny that you asked.
AC from LA.
Taylor's ready to tell you.
New AC from LA.
I just happen to be AC from LA. So I'm going to start my music, then I'm going to stop my music. All right, so look, no music for me. Listen, I'm in such a great place. Sam normally talks about, he said he could see this and see that just based on my facial hair. And the funny thing is, I almost shaved it off yesterday because it wasn't doing what I needed it to. But then it would have been a whole thing. Sam would have thought something was wrong in my relationship or something because I would have been clean shaven. Nina would have just been like, oh, he's officiating. But yeah, I don't really shave for that anymore. So yeah, so I am in a really great place. My daughter, Kayla, is thriving in school. Great co-parenting relationship with her mom. I'm in a healthy relationship. And it's like things are well. I had a career pivot recently, and then I'm still building up both of my businesses, and things are in a really, really, really good place. I got my swagger back with running. Like it's great. Like, I mean, everything is good. And so I want to encourage you to let your loved ones know that you love them. The people that you do love, let them know that you love them. Also, be empowered to not give a hell about the people that you don't love. Like, for real, if people are not good for your health, your mental health, listen, cut bait, because you need to protect your peace at all costs. That's what I have. Shout out to everybody that came through and watched us. Shout out to everybody who comes through and listens. Shout out to Samuel, my partner in crime. And I appreciate you. And by the way, I got to say, Master Simmons little brothered me, and he told me that he was still here. Nina said we were fancy. My dad said we were great. Yeah, thanks to my dad for coming through. Pops came through. Shout out to my dad. You're on mute, brother. Shout out to my dad. And Nina said, good job, friend.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, shout out to everyone. We appreciate you all.
Yeah, we do appreciate you all. And Sam didn't even get out of line today, so I'm not even playing, the Kendrick thing, he didn't. We all right.
That doesn't apply to me. So I don't want to.
Hey, right, it doesn't apply to you today. You got through it. Congratulations.
You didn't get put in the ambulance today, so you're good.
I didn't get put in the ambulance, dude. Anyway,
This is the Collective Podcast.
Yes, this is the Collective Podcast. He is
New SG Trilogy.
I am
New AC from LA.
and we appreciate y'all coming through. And we're gonna go ahead and get him up out of here. A little pop for the road. Who do you believe in? Let me know. We out.
Let us pray.